Please, good morning, Nigerians. Please, I didn't get a question.
Oh, I said should we start preparing? Should we start anticipating another fuel strike? Since the Petroleum Tankers Association is saying that they might be going on strike, should we start preparing? Should we fill our tanks? Should we get our kegs filled and so on?
Well, I want to reassure Nigerians that Nigerians are not going to take a toll again on the issue of queuing in the filling stations, suffering, getting fuel, because there is abundance of fuel everywhere. But the issue that is before us, the burning issue before us, is this incessant harassment of our tanker drivers on the road. It's not only in Lagos. It's just that the Lagos zone decided to take a drastic action and also ensure that government will listen to their plight and call to order members of LASMA who uninterruptedly, rudely, invade tanker drivers with touch. And by doing so, some of these tanker drivers lose their personal properties and all the rest of them. So they are wholly out on tanker drivers, and these people are on essential duty. Whatever happened to any tanker driver or trucks in Nigeria will definitely lead to unnecessary and unwarranted scarcity, where government has fully implemented the regulation to ensure that citizenry get fuel at any particular point in time. So this menace caused by these overzealous government officials who doesn't even know how to go about doing their jobs, decided to clamp on tankers wherever they see them and go and pack them for days, asking for a exorbitant amount of money and unnecessary intimidation, and even including beating them. So that is why the Lagos zone decided to say, no, we cannot continue to be suffering like this. We cannot continue to watch this kind of menace on our people, because those tanker drivers are also breadwinners of their family. Most of them, after coming back from work, they came back with injuries, and the union does not like this kind of unnecessary harassment. And this is all over the nation. It's all over in Lagos. Before you take your truck to Maiduguri or to Pato, Aba, all the police checkpoint, they will stop you and ask you for 1 liter of petroleum product from your truck. And by the time you get to your destination, you will find out that you will be having shortages and have problem with your managing director. Either you are getting fired or that amount of money deducted from your salary. So we cannot allow our tanker drivers continue to suffer this kind of this. When we have government that can be able to intervene on this matter, I see how these issues will be resolved. The issue of security agencies and all these overzealous government officials clapping on tanker drivers and all the rest of it leads to unnecessary accident and spillage of the truck. I want this kind of a thing happen.
Now, Chief Uka DK, you've spoken quite well about the grievances of your association's members, and rightly so too. But the Lagos state government is saying, look, we don't want the Lekki-Epe corridor to end up being like Apapa. We all know the situation in Apapa. So the Lagos state government is also insisting that it's simply enforcing the e-collop system to regulate truck movement and prevent congestion. Do you believe this system is necessary, or it's unfairly targeting petroleum transporters?
Well, one particular thing is to enact a policy. Another one is the implementation of that policy. When you enact a policy without a consultation with those policies will affect. They become deviant about that policy. Once the government is making laws, you should make sure that those you are making this law participate in that law, or even contribute to that law you want to enact, so that they can be able to give you a better advice or a better insight on what you are about doing. You can't just wake up morning and enact law without collaborating with the people, without getting input from those people, and you now want to enforce that law. The law will become very, very strange. Even if the law is positive to their own business, but they will not understand the intricacies and the aftermath of that one. So you don't just say you wake up in the morning as government. What is government? Government must take input from the people. Government must listen to the people. Government must look at all the parentheses before they make their laws. You don't just make, tomorrow morning nobody should go out. And you believe that everybody will stay at home. Some people will still go and look for what they have to eat with their family. So I'm not against the law. It is the implementation of this law. It is how this law comes about. That is what we are talking about. If you say the policy is good for the tanker drivers, let them be part of it.
Yeah, Mr. Kadike, I mean, let's quickly touch on one of the very important aspects of this conversation as we were winding down. It was said that NMDPRA, it seems to be owing 100 million naira. And there were statements made when there was a joint meeting held alongside the NSA and others who sat down, and the monies were promised to have been to be paid. Yes, 100 billion naira. The monies were promised to be paid shortly. Now you've given an ultimatum, which is just 1 week. It expires next week. How certain are you that that money will be paid? And if it's not paid, should we expect strike or something?
Well, strike is normally our last option, and ultimatum is another way of withdrawing government attention on some certain issues we want them to deal with drastically. NMDPRA inherited this particular money from PEF, Petroleum Equalization Fund. I want to also let you know there's no more PEF. PEF has been scrapped by the PIA and this deregulation policy. So the money in question was the money inherited from PEF, Petroleum Equalization Fund, when government is subsidizing transportation of petroleum products from rather the west depot to a dry depot or a longer distance that is necessary, that requires a kind of subsidy in terms of the transportation movement or logistics. But now, this money was inherited by NMDPRA, and we went for a meeting when marketers, we all complained that this money has been long overdue, in as much as we have given people time to transmit from PEF to NMDPRA. That's not enough time for you to look at this money and pay us, because marketers are really suffering. But I also want to let you know that within this period under it, the management of NMDPRA has been paying this money in line with the contribution of DAPMAN members and MEMA members. These are the people who are contributing this money to ensure that this money is being paid to marketers. So once they receive this money, because they also complain that they have not received substantial amount of this money from MEMA and DAPMAN members, and whatever they receive, they will pay. I also know that they have been paying them. But with this ultimatum and also this meeting that was held by our members, the chairman of all the 21 depots in Nigeria, NNDPRA will definitely look into this matter and see how it's going to be resolved. But I also want to reassure you that as the spokesman of IPMAN, we like dialogue. We don't like suffering the masses, because once we go on strike, masses will suffer. The last thing we will do is going to strike. It's only when some of these demands are not being met that you see that IPMAN members will go on strike. Because I know that our services are very, very essential to Nigeria, and the adverse effect will lead to walloping inflation.
All right. Thank you so much for clearing that, so Nigerians can heave a sigh of relief. Just take your time. Don't use your last money to fill your tank. Make sure you eat first and take care of your health.
You have that assurance for that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Kadike, for speaking with us, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thank you so much.